This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted today to be joined with Frankie Stringer. We're back out only about a week away now. We're less than 10 days. How are we feeling, going into this one? It's another 6 round or another sort of time to get back out there. How are we feeling?
Good. Can't wait. Can't wait for this week to finish and get in there.
And as you go now, as you tick back, tick sort of every fight off, tick every box, tick every level. This guy's been in there with, very good opponents, very big punchers. How important now is the levels that need to keep on being stepped for you? You keep sort of learning as you're going forward.
Do you know what I mean? I just need to keep stepping up the level every time, but just slowly, surely. No rushing. I'm only 22, so just in good time. Just keep stepping up the opponent and just keep performing.
And for someone like yourself, this is obviously on Sky, it's on Boxing, you're fighting on a massive bill, box office bill. Lots of eyes there. How big is that for you? For just like the fight week in itself, everyone being there and the media and the fans. How do you deal with that? How is that as an opportunity for you?
I'm just soaking it all up. I'm not used to it, so it's hard to get used to it. But the last one, the Beefy Eubank last one was unbelievable. Just the weigh-in, how big the weigh-in was, how many people was there. Just all the fight week, I was just soaking it all up, and I loved every minute of it.
And for someone like yourself who's 22 and you're still young, you're still early in your pro career, do you think you could benefit so much from these experiences in a way where they're so so incredible just to sort of when you soak it all in, when later down the line when you want these days to be for yourself?
That's what I mean. I'm doing it this early on in my career, being on these massive shows. So in the future, when I am to come and fight on big shows against big names, I'll already have the boxes ticked and I'll be used to it. So it'll come in good stead for me.
And for yourself, yourself and Beefy, Liam Smith, you've had a really, really good relationship, and we'll get into it in a minute, and we'll get sort of how deep it goes down. When you've seen him, go to sort of to America to fight Canelo, you see him headlining pay-per-view cards, and you see sort of the big fights that he's been in. Do you ever sort of manifest yourself that I'm going to be in his position one day, and I'm going to follow, sort of fill his boots?
That's what it is. I look up to him as a role model. I want to do what he's done. I want to achieve what he's achieved. Like I went to the Canelo fight and was there watching him. I've followed him around all my life, so it's just boss to look up to someone as good as him as my role model. So I hope I can achieve what he's achieved in the sport.
And you look at sharing a fight week with him, whilst you're focusing on your own fight, and I know you'll be focusing on his fight as well. How do you deal with all them sort of nerves? Is it sort of a hard thing for you?
It's not really. I only start getting there. You get nervous. It's reality when you're in the changing rooms, when you're ready to go, when you've got your gloves on. That's when the nerves kick in. It's showtime. But other than that fight week, I just soak it all up and get the experience in.
And especially for yourself, an early pro coming through. I done an interview about a couple of days ago with Nick Ball, who's obviously, you're both scouts, both from Liverpool. And we talked about, you looking up to guys like Liam Smith and Callum Smith and the Smith brothers who have flown the flag for Liverpool for so long. Tony Bellew. I can name so many fighters on what makes Liverpool such a great fight city. But then guys like yourself and Nick who are coming through, do you one day that you want to fly the flag for Liverpool and you want to be? I know you mentioned about being, you look up to Beefy, but you want to be in his position and you want to fly the flag one day.
That's it, and I think we will. I think we are the next up and coming that will fly the flag for Liverpool, and there's some good talent there. You've got me, you've got all the Everton Red, you've got Joe McGrail, Peter McGrail, Nick Ball. You've got loads of up and coming fighters there, and I believe we will fly the flag for Liverpool.
And what do you think makes Liverpool such a great city in a way, especially what makes it such a great fighting city? Because it's not just boxing, it's MMA as well and kickboxing, list on forever. What do you think really makes it so good?
Just Scousers, we just love fighting, don't we? And we're talented at it. So you've got like Darren Till in our gym training now. He was a massive star in the UFC, and just out watching him how hard he trains in the gym. We us Scousers work hard more than most, so that's probably why.
And we'll talk about your gym, Rotunda, and there's such a legendary gym around the area of Liverpool. And the guys that you brush shoulders with day in day, you mentioned Darren Till there,
Yeah,
Liam Smith, and so many other guys. How
yeah.
incredible is that for you? Would you say as an experience?
It's unbelievable. You're training alongside world champions. You've got Josh Taylor, undisputed champion. You've got people who have achieved what you want to achieve in the sport. So I'm just watching and learning and taking it all in.
And would you say how much of a benefit is it for you, say, because the early, pro career, especially early on, you might be encountering things that you might not sure what to do and this and that. But guys like Beefy, Liam, and Josh Taylor, everything like that, they've probably seen this before. Do you ever go to them a lot for advice on that?
Even when I'm sparring and they're watching me, and in between rounds, he'd be telling me, do this or try that. And I'm getting that information off world champs who that'll help me in the long run when I am fighting and I'm trying these shots, what they're telling me, and it'll work. So I can't get better, really.
100%. Well, we'll get into Saturday night. We'll get into the main event. Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr. 2, the rematch. Obviously, we all know what happened in the first fight. For the second fight, I'm sure you're very much of the opinion that it's definitely going to be more of the same.
Yeah. I've said it to everyone who's interviewed me. I've said the exact same. I've said I cannot see it going any other way apart like it went the first time. I just think it's going to go exactly the same way.
Do you see much of Liam Smith, who he's a big grafter, he's grafted his way to the top. He works hard, from just from his fighting style to now to Chris Eubank, who's sort of, he's already had the name and this and that. So do you think this is a great example of, the hard work that Liam puts in will always eclipse sort of the talent?
Yeah, but I believe Beefy's more talented than
Yeah, of course,
Eubank. People don't give Beefy the credit as how good he is and how clever he is in the ring, and it's shown against Eubank. But I just think Eubank, people are saying Eubank's more talented because of the name, because how good his dad was. But in hindsight, he hasn't done much in the sport. He hasn't won no world title. So you can't argue. But Eubank is a very good fighter, but I just think Liam Smith beats him every time.
And especially something that Liam probably was sick of the talking about it, especially the build up to the first fight, all the mind games, this and that. We haven't seen too much of it. I'm sure we'll see it on the press conference. But do you think this just motivates Liam anymore when you see sort of the 60% and all this sort of stuff that Chris Eubank Jr. comes out with?
I don't think Eubank will do it this time, where he knows he can't do it. If he does mess about it, his career's on the line. So I do think he'll take it a bit more serious this time, and he won't be saying the 60% and all that. I think he'll take it serious this time.
And Liam's always talked about the Anfield fight. Obviously for someone like yourself, you was there when Bellew beat Makabu at Goodison.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd love to be involved in a card at a stadium in Liverpool.
Oh, that'd be unbelievable. That's dreams come true right there. But once Beefy knocks Eubank out next week, hopefully he gets it against the big name for a world title. Hopefully it all goes to plan.
And you look at yourself competing in lightweight, such a stacked division, especially at the world level. Do you ever look up to guys like, Tank, Haney, Shakur? One day, like, you look up to guys like this and take bits off them?
I wouldn't be in the sport if I didn't. I always look at that weight, but I don't think I stay like. I think I'll mature and go a bit heavier, but I still I look at the top ones and I think I want to be there, so I do learn and watch what they're doing. But I think I'll grow into a bigger weight and mature into a solid higher weight.
100%. Frankie, just want to say thank you for the time speaking to me. I'm sure I'll be there fight week, so I'm sure we'll be catching up on fight week. But yeah, all the best for Saturday night and all the best for Beefy as well, mate. Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for
Top
that.
man. Cheers, mate. Thank you.